Well, all right, honey. What's going on, tea sippers, honey? It is another glorious Wednesday, and you know what time it is. So get your crumpets together, babies, because it's time to dish tea, and you're dishing tea, my darling, with Big Meats, honey. Thank you for all of your love and your support and your understanding. I'm elated today because it is going to, the timing of all of this, honey, is just absolutely fantastic. And it's all spirit, honey. So the omniverse is really looking down today because of how everything is being situated and all of that. Now, that was Gladys Knight, honey, the need to be, and I think it sets the precedent for today's show. Now, if y'all just heard something in the background, get your ass up out of bed or whatever that was. That was my ringtone on my phone, and it just interrupted the flow of that damn song. I was trying to turn my phone off, and but I'm going to have to play that song again at the end of the show because I didn't want no interruptions on that. That's a beautiful song. So my apologies if I broke your spirit in any kind of way. The tea room is open, so if you're listening by computer and wish to partake of the conversation, honey, the tea room is open, so just go ahead on over there. I'm going to ask, darling, that while you're in the tea room, a.k.a. the chat room, for those of you who don't know, please chat responsibly over there, okay? Remember, this is just a written word, and a lot of times we tend to put our own inflections and interpretations on what's being written, and it may not mean the way that you interpret it. So don't go throwing your computers and everything into walls or wanting to cuss folk out, okay? Just dish your tea responsibly, and that's fine. If you're over there as a guest, you won't be able to chat. You can read everything, but won't be able to chat in. You have to go ahead on and log into blogtalkradio.com and create yourself a profile page like any other social network, okay? If you're listening by telephone or wish to comment or want to join in on the conversation, please do so at 347-205-9183. That's 347-205-9183. Now, how this is going to go today, the call lines is filling up. Okay, now, y'all better, okay, babies. I'm going to conduct as much of the interview as I can first so that we can get a lot of the information out, and then I'll come and take your calls, okay? So if you're listening by phone and wish to have questions or whatever, just press the number 1, and it will alert me here on my switchboard that you have something to say, okay? Now, let me put my disclaimer here. This show is for mature audiences, and the language and subject matters are not appropriate for children or anyone who is not mature to handle the subject matter. Your listening discretion is advised. Again, your listening discretion is advised. Now, listen, honeys. Y'all know I have a potty mouth, and I make no excuses for it, so I don't want to be receiving fan mail or hate mail or whatever kind of mail saying that because you was listening to my show that it got you in any kinds of trouble, honey. So govern yourselves accordingly. If you are at work, turn the volume down so that it's not disrespectful to those around you, or put your headphones on, because you bitches ain't going to come to me talking about it was my fault, you hear me? So, okay. Now, today's show, I titled today's show, The Art of Becoming, the Journey of Trans Citizens. And as we all know, those who identify as trans, the T portion of the LGBT community, you know, that is a journey that is not only difficult, but it's also possibly the most misunderstood. And my guest today is going to give us her story, and it's going to be a very interesting perspective, okay? Now, before I get into introducing her, let me say hello to my sponsors and those who have showed me love, and because they do what they do, it allows me to do what I do, okay? And I want to say thank you to all who support Dishing Tea, and we're going to start with Trade Day Management and PR Firm. At Trade Day, enjoy a touch of Southern hospitality with a universal appeal. For all of your public relations and entertainment management needs, contact Travion Davenport at 678-523-3088. Again, that's 678-523-3088, or email her at traydaypr@gmail.com. Trayday, TREADAY, PR for public relations, at gmail.com. Pharaoh's Treasure Box, fine art, unique jewelry, and sensational 3D silk floral arrangements. Creations by Taps. For all of your decorative needs, contact Pharaoh's Treasure Box at 248-688-5178 or 5179, 248-688-5178 or 5179, or you can email at pharaohstreasurebox@comcast.net. That's Pharaoh's Treasure Box at comcast.net. Parisian Wine Productions, music to lighten your spirits and lift your soul, specializing in gospel and inspirational house and dance music tracks. For all of your Christian entertainment needs, contact Paris. He's the CEO and founder at 347-406-7734, 347-406-7734. Or email him at paris42268@yahoo.com. That's paris42268@yahoo.com. Life Fellowship of Christ Ministries. Live in freedom everywhere, LIFE. Reverend James Coleman is the leader and founder of the Ecumenical Social Justice Ministries, brought forth to free the oppressed and introduce a fresh approach to the Christ consciousness. Contact Reverend Coleman at 313-833-9278, 313-833-9278, or email him at mustardcole@yahoo.com. That's mustardcole@yahoo.com. Echem Vidal Couture. Enjoy high fashion with a luxurious twist. Step into the future with fresh, innovative couture. Designs by Miss Michi DeVale. For more information, contact Michi at 313-996-9807, 313-996-9807, or go to Facebook. That's www.facebook.com/Michi DeVale, MICHIEEDEVALE, Michi DeVale. Big Brothers Network, the BBN, a new online web magazine designed to show the world the class and style of the debonair man of size and his admirers. Launching its first edition this Memorial Day weekend. For more information, please contact Big Daddy Tony Brown at bigbrothersnetwork.com, www.bigbrothasnetwork.com. The second edition is up there on the website as well. Ah, yes, Caribbean Boys Enterprise, the CABC. Let's see, we cater, promote, entertain, and provide special services with the Caribbean swagger, island flavor on the mainland. Ah, bam, bam. Mr. Silvano T. DeMarco is the CEO and founder of the CABC. For more information, please contact Silvano at CaribbeanBoysATL@yahoo.com. That's Caribbean Boys with a Z, ATL, @yahoo.com. Or you can meet him on Facebook at facebook.com/Silvano T. DeMarco. That's SYLVANO, the letter T, DMARCO. Kissing After Dark. Atlanta's premier social events for those who are tired of the same old party scene. These premier events across the ATL where the grown and sexy can become the seasoned and sophisticated. Every Wednesday night at the Banana Wind right at the Underground Atlanta, join Kissing After Dark for Lesbian Week Wednesdays, the hottest lesbian, bi-attractional, bi-curious party in the ATL. The doors open at 8 o'clock and goes until no cover, $3 drink specials and $10 buckets. For more information, go to www.facebook.com/Kissing After Dark. That's KISSN After Dark. Okay. Also on Twitter, same name, honey. Twitter.com Kissing After Dark. KISSN After Dark. Also, Swirl Films, the #1 urban film production company specializing in all areas of film production, including directing, producing, script writing, budgeting and scheduling, production assembling, and post-productions. For more information, contact Eric Thomasounis, Russ Parr, or Keith Neal at 910-798-2934, or you can go to the website at www.swirlfilms.com, www.swirlfilms.com. And also, let me have a special announcement, because coming up March 25th through the 28th. We have the Spring Fling coming up in Orlando, Florida. Now, this here is something that I want all of you to pay attention to, because the Big Brothers Network, who is responsible for the BBN magazine, is sponsoring and putting together this particular event. It's going to be in the thick of the night, the Spring Fling Getaway, where the Big Brothers get to sit down and partake of fun, friendship, fraternizing, enjoying hot Big Brothers, relaxed by the pool, and many other fun activities that's going to go on there. So for your registration, it's a $45 registration fee. If you want any more information, please go to the website, bigbrothersnetwork.com, www.bigbrothersnetwork, BIGBROTHAS network.com. I'll be there. Big Meats, yes, baby. So I'll keep you guys posted. If you have any other questions or wish to become a sponsor, please send all of that information over to dishingteawithbigmeech@gmail.com. That's dishingteawithbigmeech@gmail.com. All right. Dog, I sound all long-winded, don't I? I know y'all sitting up there saying, damn, this bitch going to shut the fuck up or what? But, okay, I'm good. But, you know, we had to take care of the business. Whew, okay. Now we're going to get into the meat of this, because this is my first installment of Transgender Education, of the Transgender Educational series, rather, that I'm putting together with the show. As I said, I'm a transgender activist, and it is my creed to make sure that our trans citizens are taken seriously and are ushered into mainstream society with the same equity that everyone else has. And today, my guest is coming to us with an unusual story, because it's hers, but for the very first time, I think, well, at least for me, we're about to hear firsthand about the life of a trans citizen coming from the islands, and you know, being the Bahamas and the Caribbean, where being LGBT is definitely a death sentence because of their laws, because of their strict moral codes and biblical codes or whatever. My guest, she deems herself the First Lady of the Bahamas and the Caribbean, Miss Alexus Braxton-Royale DeMarco. She represents herself, and she's going to be telling her story, which is a representation of others who have succeeded and who have endured the ridicule and the persecution of such hatred and discrimination by those of her native land, of the Bahamas and the Caribbean, and how she has risen above the odds to become a successful entrepreneur. And she's also the CEO of the Pageantry Systems International. It's an umbrella company for such pageants as the Miss International Incorporated Closet Ball, the Mr. and Ms. International, the Mr. and Ms. Caribbean International, the Mr. and Ms. Fresh Face, the Mr. and Ms. Florida Gold, amongst other things that she has done. She's the mother of a house, the House of DeMarco, and also has allowed herself and her life to be a standing testimony for those who walk this life as a trans person. And now, with the freedoms that she has of being a United States citizen, she's been able to go back to her homelands and have been able to be a fighter for justice for those who identify as trans as well. So without any further ado, let me bring to Dishing Tea. This is the beautiful and the big girl, honey, represent for the big girls. This is Miss Alexus Braxton-Royale DeMarco. Hello there, my sister. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And yourself?
Oh, honey, I'm everything, and everything is me.
Good.
Oh, so my sister, I want to get right into this. Is that your radio on? Turn that down just a little bit, because I'm getting the backlash. I can hear myself off your computer.
Okay.
Yeah, just turn that down just a bit, and then let's get into the meat of this, because I want the folks to understand your story and to put a face behind living transgender walk, and also what it means to be someone from the islands and who have taken up the plight and had to fight this thing, girl. So let's go and start here with recognizing that your walk was going to be different from everyone else. What was that like for you when you realized, okay, I'm not like everyone else here?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to introduce myself. I am Alexus DeMarco, mother of the House of DeMarco. Currently, I reside in Atlanta, Georgia, for a period of 6 months here doing some business. But my native homeland is called the Bahamas. The capital is called Nassau. The Bahamas is located in the Caribbean, and as you know, coming from a Caribbean country, there are different religious backgrounds, there are different ethnic groups, there are different rules, there are different religious groups that would come against persons like myself, which is a transgender. Now, me being a transgender, I realized that at the age 15 that I was really, really different from a lot of the guys in my class and the girls in my class. Me and the girls in my class would identify with each other. So back then, transgender and all the stuff involving it, the information was not available on how to develop or how to become. So when I was old enough and mature enough to understand it, I went ahead and I did my research. I went ahead and I see what I needed to do to become. Inside of myself, I knew that I was always going to become a lady. And as a child, I said to my mother that, hey, I think I'm going to be a girl. At that time, my mother didn't understand it, being from the Bahamas, a Caribbean country that totally doesn't understand transgender. It was an opportunity for me as an individual to get out there and say, hey, I'm going to make this difference, and I'm going to show people that, hey, you can be who you are no matter where you're from or who you are. It was not easy, okay? Coming from a Christian home, number one, coming from a very high background family, high society background family, where prominence is number one, wow. very family orientated. That's where I came from. The thing about it is when I decided that, hey, I'm of age and I'm going to become this person, I just don't want to do it for show or do it because, I want to be seen or something like that, or seeking attention. That's the general consensus. People in the Bahamas would try to say, they just want to be different or they just want to do this or that. They can deal with the fact of being a gay male or being a gay female, but being transgender is a totally different ballgame. That's like, you're crossing the line. It's like you're going into something that's totally abominable, okay? So the road for me was not easy at all, beginning my transgender journey.
Wow. Okay, now let's go here, because when you went to your family and said, okay, Mommy, I'm going to be a girl, honey. And when all of that was starting to shape and you started doing your research, what was your biggest opposition? Was it because of the family pressure, or was it the religious aspect, or was it just a combination of them both?
I would say it was a combination of them both, the religious aspect and my family, because family is very prominent in the Bahamas. That's like number one. So first of all, I had to become comfortable within myself that, hey, I'm going to do this. And the only person I felt the need at that time to express what I'm going to do is to my mother, okay? That's the only one that I felt that I had to answer to, okay? At first, she didn't understand it. We had parental conflict. It was not easy. It wasn't like, yeah, sure, go ahead. No. We had parental conflict due to the fact that, hey, she's saying, this is not going to be accepted. This is not what's going to happen because you live in the Bahamas. You understand? This is not the family, so to speak. So what I did was I separated myself from my family for about a year and a half, moved to the United States where I got all the information that I needed, the pills, because you got to get the hormones, you got to get all these stuff done. And these things was not readily available back then. So I took a leave of absence, so to speak, if you want to use that terminology. Right. I'm going to say a leave of absence because I did. This show's about being real, so we're going to be real. I took a leave of absence during that period. And during that transitional period from family, I learned that, hey, your mother Some people don't have. Some people do. Your mother is the only thing at the end of the day when the stuff hit the fan who going to be there for you. Friends, yeah. Other people, yeah. But your mom, that connection, that relationship, they're going to be there at the end of the day. So my relationship with her had to grow via telephone calls, via the internet, via communication. I was not personally ready for my mother to see my development. So what she did, she sent my brother. Right. She sent my brother. He was in college at that time, and my brother's more open to understanding who I was from a child, because I would play. Okay. Yeah, I would play in women's clothing, dress up in shoes and stuff, and then I would run and say, "Okay, I'll wash the dishes if you don't tell mommy that I was playing in her heels or playing in her dress."
Oh no, you didn't change.
Oh yes, I did.
Do his chores.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So that was basically the preamble to what was happening. Okay? So that's why she sent my brother. So in sending my brother, he went ahead and he told her, I've seen Alexus, and that's the name I used. I've seen her, and looks like a girl. So then she became comfortable, and she said, okay, I want to see. So I sent her a picture back. The thing about it is, sending a picture is different from standing in person. Okay? So then when she decided that, hey, okay, it's time for me to see you in person, she came to the house, everything, and she just was like, oh, my God, you look like a girl. Oh, my God, you look like a girl. So that was her whole thing about it. Being in society in the Bahamas and her post and her position, the thing that she had to deal with was what people would say. Oh, my God, you sent your child away to school to be a doctor, a lawyer, to whatever, a journalist, and this is what she has become? So that was her biggest concern. So as the years progressed and stuff, months progressed, we and her had a conversation, and she said, you know what, from a long time ago, I stopped listening to what people had to say about you because you're my child, okay? You're my child. And first of all, she's not even my biological mother. She adopted me. So from a child, she had me. So to her, it was like all of these things playing in the family role, you understand, was coming upon her. So she said she had to make a decision that I'm going to stop listening to what people have to say about you and accept you for myself. So that was basically the gist of how that transition took place.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, if this is too personal, and you don't have to answer, okay, but in dealing with the idea and wrapping your mind about the fact of being an adopted child, and then going through the journey of transitioning, did you go through a period where you felt that maybe I need to find my biological parents, maybe I need to look into this because something, did it torment you to say that something was different with me? And did it take you into many different changes of maybe trying to reach out to look for definition or to look for identity?
How it started off with me, at first I did not find out that I was adopted until I was about 18 years of age, 16 years of age. So that's when it really clicked to me that, hey, okay, at 15 I knew these things, then 16 I'm finding out, hey, you're adopted. So my whole plight was never the fact of knowing who my parents that they were not my real parents, because I didn't know until I was like 16 years of age. So that never played a factor in it. Now, when I was off age and I found out, I was able to contact and find out who my real parents was. At the time, my mother said to me, I couldn't handle you because she was a drug addict, which I am grateful to her for giving me up to someone that's was able to take care of me. Okay, so I never condemned her, and I never put her, she's now deceased. I was the one to organize her funeral, was to her funeral in full transition. I can just put it like this. I'm a very spiritual person, and it's not personal, but God has allowed me an opportunity to see things from when I was a child, when I had questions, and he brought everything, all the answers to me. He brought them before I have a chance to close my eyes on this earth. So I'm grateful to him for that. So that was never an issue, because I never knew until the age of 16 that I was.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, I noticed that you mentioned your mother. Was your father instrumental part of your life? And when you broke the news to your father, was that a different element for you?
Okay, my adopted father, He didn't come into my mother's life. My mother raised me and my brother as a single-parent family, my adopted family, as a single-parent mother. So that was never a part of her. He was never a part of it. Now she's married, so I have a stepfather. Now, my stepfather had to come to the realization of who I was, so my mother had to bring that to his knowledge and his understanding. Okay? Again, he being another prominent person in the Caribbean. So it's like they had to deal with all of this at once. But as the years progress and as the teachings go forth as far as what a transgender is and what it's about, they begin to understand and they developed a sense of understanding.
Isn't that a blessing?
Yes, it is.
Isn't that a... Well, I just feel elated right now because I know several of my trans sisters and my trans brothers out there whose families have shunned them and thrown them away and this, that, and the other, and really have taken a personal stake at being embarrassed and all of that because of the journey of transitioning. Now, when you came to the States, when you decided to remove yourself and what was it? How did you turn that? How did you phrase that? You took a leave of absence from the family and came to the States. What was that journey like for you? Because you, as you know now, honey, the girls are not cute and they're not friendly. Okay. So in your earlier development with finding, the right doctors and getting the right loans and not getting botch work with all this old bad silicone and carrying on, what was that for you in the very beginnings, and what was your lessons learned as you walked your journey?
Okay. When I first came to the States and I started out, I met a group of people from the House of Royale. His name is Christopher Royale. That was an association of family that I associated myself with, and he is a Bahamian. So I found a nesting place around people of my own country and my own kind. The road was not easy because starting out, I didn't know what it was to be messy. I didn't know what reading was. I didn't know. I'm telling you, coming from an island that's just sun, sand, and sea, you don't know all of these things. So,
girl, okay, a shell shock, child, shell shock, woo!
So as I began to progress, and then coming around some friends, my first drag mother, her name is Sierra Douglas. She introduced me into the art of pageantry and drag and stuff like that on a more professional level. But I must give it off to Christopher Royale, who had a production company called Royal Productions, and he used to bring over some of the big-name celebrities now, like Sheena Devine, rest in peace, Shatika Everlasting, Ebony Everlasting, and Sierra Douglas. So they used to come to the Bahamas and do shows. So he used to bring that group of people. So I said, okay, I need to be connected with someone of my own kind to show me the ropes of becoming who I'm going to become. So that's how I started off my transitional period, surrounding myself around people of my own kind. It was not easy, like I said, reading and all of that, backbiting and all that stuff. In every relationship in this community is always some type of mess. But as you get older and you get wiser, you begin to drift away from that kind of stuff, and you become to develop. So back then I could say I was a little girl, or a little classy girl growing up around how to become and what to do.
So the little girl became a woman.
Right.
And grew up.
Right. When you become a woman, you put away those childish things. So that's the stage I'm at in my life.
They do. Good.
Yeah, they do. They do.
For the most part. Yeah, I see it. For the most part, yeah, they do. There's still a few of the girls out there, honey, who have not really embraced that. Still caught up in a lot of the mess and the pomp and circumstance of being passable and this, that, and the other. Now, then let's go into that whole idea of passing, not passing, being beautiful, and all of that. What was your experience along your journey with that? Because as you know, that's a cultural thing between black girls and white girls and carrying on. The whole idea of looking fishy, honey, and making sure that this is all right and tight and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
When you were coming to grips with all of this, what was that particular part of it for you in order to capture the look, understanding makeup application, understanding skincare, understanding what it was to be a woman and not a man emulating a woman or, you know, or being a drag queen? You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at the T community, you can really tell those who are actually trans, and this is a lifestyle for them, and this is a way of living versus them being a caricature, you know, for attention. So what was that for you?
Well, like I said, coming back, living in the Miami area, you know, it's all about the body and being real and this and that. But I came over as Bahamian Fish, and that's the name that I was given, Bahamian Fish. I always had a pretty face, no work done like that to my face, and so all it was for me was to just cultivate that which I was given by God, and all it was a method of cultivation. Okay, yes, there are the types of hormones.
Wait, let me press pause for a minute. Just press pause, because you know you just worked me for that. Okay. Cultivation of what God has already given.
Correct.
I just had to highlight that. Okay, keep going, because that just worked me, but okay.
Yeah. Because he says to be you have three things you can do. Be fruitful, multiply, or cultivate. So I chose to cultivate. And like I said, being in Miami, it was all about the body and all of that type of stuff. But for me, it was just getting on my moons, doing what I have to do. My character is always the same. You see me as a lady, I will always be a lady. I came over with that. So this is nothing you can put on, or if you are a real trans woman and this is who you are, this is not a game or pretend that, or this is not some type of drama show that you can put on and take off. It has to be you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's just me. It's just my same character. So it was nothing that I had to be around a group of people to learn alert behavior or how to do this or no, that was never me. That was never me. I always keep the same character that I am. Yeah. That's about it.
I like that answer as far as the character development. Now, who were your role models as you were transitioning? Who did you have to look up to? Because, you know, in this particular world, there are not a lot of really positive people out there that the girls look up to and say, okay, I want to, you know, aspire to do this and I want to aspire to do that like so-and-so. You know, who were your inspirations and who helped you define and shape your character as you were a little girl coming into this woman?
My mother, my adopted mother, and my prime minister's wife at that time. Her name is Lady Pindling. My character was always that of my mother. Everything you see me do is that of my mother because that's all I knew. Her style of dress, her way of dress, coming from a Caribbean island, that's all I knew. You understand? So I didn't come over here trying to be. I came over here trying to develop that which was already there. So I have to give it to my mother. That's it.
Dig that. Dig that. Okay.
That's all I knew. That's all I saw. Okay.
Exactly.
Now when it came to getting the breast part and all of that stuff, it was Shatika Everlasting and Ebony Everlasting at that time. Because when they came to do the show, I said, oh, my God, I'm going to get that back. And that seed was planted in my head, and that's where it went from. So.
Okay, bam, bam, boom.
Right.
Okay. Now, you know, let's go here for a minute because one of the things that we all understand that is a difficult plight with the trans community is being able to see doctors and who understand the whole art of transitioning. Now, when you went into the actual living your life as trans, and now we have to go to the doctors for hormones and medical treatments and this, that, and the other, did you face a lot of difficulty in that, or
basically no, because in Miami there was a place you could have gone right through and get your stuff without a prescription. You could have gone and get your pills or whatever, and that was about the network. The networking was there, the connections were there, so I didn't have to go looking, and it wasn't a hard time for me getting what I needed to get. So as far as the doctors are concerned, I did that on my personal research as far as a doctor in Miami, and he gave me all of the names of the different hormonal pills that you need to take in order to create this or to develop this or to do that. So, yeah.
Oh, that's smart cookie, honey, smart cookie. Okay, because a lot of the girls don't do their own research. They rely on a lot of these pumping parties and, bootleg, underground silicone and underground hormones and stuff, and let the girls pump them up and this, that, and the other. Now that you've become this woman and have become Alexus, okay, take us along the journey of when you stepped out and how the mother of the house developed and how you were able now to be a force and a leader and a mentor to all of those who you come in contact with and you have put up under your wing.
Okay. Well, after being in America for such a period of time, I was afforded the opportunity to go back home. And going back home, I decided that, hey, the knowledge that I've learned, I'm going to share it with these other girls coming up, especially in the pageant and entertainment industry, because that's a big thing down there in the Bahamas. We have a lot of people that want to do pageantry. We have a lot of people that want to transition, but because of probably finances or not the know-how to, it's kind of an obstacle for them. But I came back with a mission, and the mission was to put my girls, my island girls, back, bring them to a sense of knowledge and understanding on the same level as the United States, especially through the entertainment and pageantry world. So I went ahead and I created a system, and it was called Mr. and Miss Caribbean International. Back in Florida, I created a system called Florida Gold. So I took that knowledge that I learned of pageantry and took it back there to them. So the big thing about transitioning isn't big over there, but that entertainment and that pageant, that is life in the Bahamas. That is life to them. So that's what I developed on. I went ahead and I took that dream and that vision that I had, and I put it into action there in my own country. So that's the biggest thing there right now.
Really? And why is that such a big entity there? Have you been able to put your finger on that particular pulse?
Yes, it's because of the close proximity. In case people don't know, the Bahamas is located close to Florida. So, I mean, everything is right there, Americanized and Bahamianized and all that kind of stuff. So because of the close proximity from Nassau to Florida, the pageantry system and the fashion and all the things that the United States has, the Bahamians, we want to have. Okay?
Dig it.
Right. We want to be just as good as looking as you. You want to wear stilettos, we're going to wear stilettos. So, okay, that was kind of what it was, what America has we wanted. So it took somebody to show them, to step out of the box and say, okay, even though you're going to be shut down from the Christian Council, even though you're going to be ridiculed from this person for bringing this type of show into the Bahamas, okay, are you going to do it? And this is what I had to ask myself. And I said yes to myself. And I went ahead and I did it.
Now, let's talk about that, because I read this article, honey, where you had to challenge that Christian council. It was like, okay, bitches, listen. You're not going to sit down and to, put me into these particular kind of categories. What we're offering is the style of entertainment, and I like in the article how you compared your entertainment with everything else that was brought into the islands and things. What was that fight like for you? Were you nervous? Were you scared? Or did you know that this was just your calling, honey? We finna create like I say with folks, it's time to put on your Wonder Woman armor because it's bullets and bracelets time, baby.
Well, like I said from the beginning, I said the only person that I really have to answer to on this earth is my mother. So what I did is I went ahead and I gave her a call. This is how it happened. I was getting ready to bring a show to Nassau and bring Sheena Divine. I was getting ready to bring Miss Sheena Divine into Nassau. Into Freeport, Grand Bahama. And the president at that time of the Christian Council was from that city of Freeport. So I said, you know what, the only person I have to answer to is my mother. So I gave her a call. I said, Mom, you ready? Get ready. I said, I'm about to go on national television. She said, for what? That's how Bahamians talk. For what? With that, we talk about the expression. So she said, for what? What happened? Who do you something again? I said, no, it's nothing like this. I said, I'm getting ready to have a show in Grand Bahama, and I'm being attacked by the Christian Council. They're calling it an abominable show and this kind of thing, and I refuse to allow them to bring down my company's name with such stuff and slander. So she's like, okay, you feel comfortable? You know people are going to know who you are now because you're going to go on TV. I said, yeah, I'm fine. I'm worried about you. Don't worry about me. I'm worried about you.
Right. Okay. Right. I'm trying to let you know, girl.
Right. Okay. Because definitely when you're in government and you're in those high society places, you know you got those office people that go around and talk and chat and chit and chat, especially being in government.
Exactly.
So I was like, just prepare yourself. Don't matter what nobody say. And she said, that's fine. She reassured me again. She said, that's why I told you a long time. I have stopped worrying about what people had to say about you. And that was it. So I went ahead, had a press conference in Nassau, Bahamas first, and then I flew into Freeport where I was having the show. I was on the news, the ZNS News, which is the national station, and I went ahead and I said, I'm refuting these statements that are made against my company about my show being abominable. I think it's wrong, it's gross, and it's irregular. It's unconstitutional because I have a freedom of expression to be a part of any group that I choose to affiliate myself with. Okay? So that's when it became a legal aspect, and as far as being fair. So, see, the Bahamas is run by a government, and then you have a Christian council that's there to advise. The Christian council is not the government. They're just the advisors to the government. In any state, any country, you have advisors. But because of what it was, they wanted to attack it based on the fact of people dressing up as females or males dressing as male leads. So I said to them, wait. I said, wait. You people will pay $50, $60, $80 to see Medea, a man in a dress, as opposed to your own entertainers. Okay, and at that time they had a show going on in Crystal Palace, which is one of the hotels there, called Celebrities on Stage. And what the Celebrities on Stage was a group of persons out of America, and they came and they had a show running there in my country. Americans running there, celebrities on stage dressing up as Cher, dressing up as different entertainers in dresses and in wigs. So I said, okay, if you're going to allow the foreigner to come in and do it, why can't you allow your own people? So that's what sparked, right. That's what allowed me the gateway to, I guess, introduce the art of entertainment in the Bahamas. Don't just sit down and say, oh, we don't have that kind of thing here. Like in family, oh, we don't have them kind of people in our family. So I said, you think we don't have these kind of people that want to entertain in my country, but yes, we do. Okay, so I think that's what allowed me the opportunity to express my entertainment company, my pageantry company in the Bahamas on a larger scale through knowledge of the Constitution, knowledge of my rights as a Bahamian. So.
Wow, you know, I'm flabbergasted at the moment right now. Because I think that's the important piece right there.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
Your power, exactly. And understanding the laws of the land, honey, because I think that there is what American girls don't take advantage of. You there? Did something just happen with my line?
Yes. You're so right.
Okay. And I'm in awe right now. But you know, let me go here because as I was stating in the beginning, you know, being that the Bahamas and, you know, we've heard of all the horror stories of Jamaica and other Caribbean islands where a lot of those who are LGBT actually face death sentences. You know, we have entertainers, and you don't hardly hear from him anymore, but Shabba Ranks was the first person that really became a mogul in the entertainment industry that really got to bashing LGBT. And, you know, in his music and this and then it's this other little cat that they just banned. The folks, oh God, I can't think of his name. Some other little rapper or something. That a lot of the children here have got him to cancel shows because he does a lot of anti-gay music and things.
Correct. Negativity.
You know, growing up and then having to go back home to face the public. Okay. For the young kids who are looking to you as a role model, who are looking to you for guidance, how is it that you are able to still, show them how to be a beacon of light and yet duck and dirge all of that hate that's there? How I don't understand. How do you guys do it? Because, it's easier for me to say it here because I know what we do here in the States, and we have many more places to run and to mobilize and all of that. But, right there on the island when everybody knows everything and, it's so close, there's nowhere to run. So how does one do it?
Okay. The first thing, the Bahamas is totally different from Jamaica. Jamaica is more on a crucial standpoint as it relates to that type of issue. My advice to them, first of all, and this would go for any country, any person that believes in who they are. First of all, you are in control of who comes around you. Okay, and this is how let me speak from my own experience. I was in control in the Bahamas. Who comes around me, where I'm going to go, which places am I going to step my foot in. I'm not going to put my foot in a lion's mouth where there's a bunch of boys who don't understand it. You understand? So I made a controlled environment. So I would tell them, create you a controlled environment. And in creating you a controlled environment, know who you're going to allow in your circle, know who you're going to allow to know anything about you. You don't always have to be flaming and putting yourself. It's all about who you are and your character. Like, I'm going to go back to character. It's all about character. You understand? At first, people had shunned me because they didn't know. The whole thing, if they say they see one gay person, they've seen all. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Because everybody is not the same in character. Okay? So my character was more of that. Yeah, my character was more of that of a very laid back. You speak to me, I'm going to speak to you. If you don't speak to me, then that's fine. That's just me. Hi, hello, how are you? My mommy said, if you don't know a person by their name, you say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, how are you doing? That's it. So that I always grew up with that respect. I don't care who you are, I'm going to respect you. So create yourself an environment where you know people that are on your side. You allow them in your circle and stay away from those that are not. Okay? Don't go looking for the trouble because trouble don't always come with you. So set yourself up in situations where you're in a group of people who know what you're dealing with and take it from there.
I like that answer. A controlled environment. Now, in that controlled environment, because let me play devil's advocate right here, because we all know the children, when they get into these little controlled environments, and they want to get catty, they want to get, when they build their own world, then they forget that the rest of the world exists. So how do you, as a mother of a house, institutionalize the idea of balance? Because, the world is bigger than just us right now, honey. This is the control environment, but now we got to take this same control and coexist with mainstream.
Correct. Well, with my kids, I'm going to send a shout-out to all of them a little later, but with them, especially the ones in the Bahamas, for them, my children, most of them, they're police officers. They come from good backgrounds, good homes. Some come from broken homes, but those that are intelligent enough to understand what I stand for and understand where I'm trying to take them, they have already adjusted their life to those types of environments as being controlled of their own environment. But those that are not, my thing to them, as I said, after the show, after the curtain closes, after the ballroom scene, after the pageant, you still have to eat, you still have to sleep, you still have to drink. And I go back into my dialect with this. I'm sorry, but you still have to do the real thing.
I love it. Go. Just go. I love it.
You still have to have the real thing. You have to have a job. You understand? And on a job scene, you're gonna meet all kinds of people. People who don't like what you are, people who don't like what you stand for, but you still have to remain who you are. Don't change. You understand? But when you go ahead and you go flaunting yourself or trying to be seen, that's when it becomes a problem. You understand? In jobs, in the office, there are rules and regulations. There's sexual harassment stuff. There's stuff that could govern you and protect you. So you're not all alone. It's just up to you as an individual. What character are you going to present to these people on this job? You understand? By the way, people didn't know I was a call center manager for many years in Florida, ran a whole call center of 60 people, being who I am. So, I mean, it's not it's all about, like I said, it goes back to character, who you are on the inside. You understand? Some people don't have it, and some people, it's just them. You understand? So it's all about character. That's all I can say. You know how to present yourself. You know if you decide that you want to go to straight club, present yourself as a lady. You understand? Present yourself as who you are. You know, all of that extra carrying on and whatever, that's not called for. So that's how I deal with my children. I put them on the real level of life. You know, so it's all about being real.
All right, Mama. All right, Miss Mama. Because see, now a lot of folks don't know this about me because I too am a mother of a house. But my house back home in Detroit was the House of Divinity, but I'm not one of those ball walking houses or anything like that. I'm more social justice, and basically it's a ministry because we took a lot of the kids that were homeless and everything and showed them how to understand and utilize with their higher power and their faith in what they believe in to catapult themselves into bigger and better. And that leads to my question to you, because you're a very spiritual woman. How is it that you connect your belief in the higher power, in the Creator? How have you overcome and made peace with the idea of being a trans woman and still God-fearing? How did all that play into your life at this point?
Okay, well, everybody has their own interpretation of the scripture, how they want to hear it, how the preacher presents it, how they whatever. When I read the Bible like I would read my college textbook back in college. I read for understanding and knowledge for myself, okay? How I dealt with it, my spiritual connection is this. The Bible says in the body of Christ there's neither male nor female, okay? My spirit man. This is my own interpretation. I know I might get criticized and ridiculed, but that I don't care. Been there, done that, that's over. But it's the spirit man. The spirit is something that's on the inside. That's what's going to go before the Father. You understand? And when it's time for him to bring me to the closure of my life or to my demise, I believe in all sincerity that he is going to, he knows who we are. This is not something that you pick up one morning and wake up and say, oh, I'm going to be this. No. This is something that has been on the inside of me from a child. So I said, well, if this is from a child, why am I going to be persecuted or why I'm going to do this? But he says trials and tribulations will come. He will not put nothing on you that you cannot bear. So if I couldn't bear what I'm going through right now, I wouldn't be who I am today. You understand? So that's my interpretation of my life. And when I lay down at night, I don't lay down with the politicians. I don't lay down with the doctors. I don't lay down with the pastor. I lay down with me and my God. You understand? Woo! And that inner peace that lays on the inside of me is what I dwell on and what I believe in. Okay, and if you're going to kill me for that, then go ahead. But at least I know at the end of the night I said, Father, if I do anything in error towards you, please forgive me. Every night before I lay in my bed. So, come on. He says, all you have to do, confess with your mouth, believe in your heart that Jesus Christ died and raised again, and you shall be saved. That's it.
Whosoever will. Okay, whosoever.
Whosoever will.
You know what?
He didn't just say, oh, because you're this and you're that, you're not, whatever. Come on. No. You know, so that's how I deal with my inner peace. That's about it.
All right. I am living. I love when I hear that piece from folks who get it, you know, because so long. I mean, if you're looking at the news now, you know, we got the pastor who up all these sexual allegation charges and all this old craziness that's going on, and a lot of folks who want to ridicule and burn crosses and all this kind of jazz about something that has nothing to do with them. If we're going to preach that God created everything, right, what part of everything is exclusive?
That's right, because he said, if God created everything, why what I'm doing is bad? Everything that he created under the heaven, under the sun is good. Why is it bad? And I said, God's in his word. So, you know.
Wow. Okay, see, I love when the kids get it. I love it. Now, let me go here because we have a call. Someone wishes to say something. I'm coming to you in just a moment. Once I come out of this call, then I want to go into becoming a businesswoman and what that and all that entails. So let me go here. 678-668. 678-6668. Hello there, my darling. You're dishing tea with Big Meat to say hello to the First Lady. Wait a minute, hold on. Why isn't mine called Cucumber? There we go. Hello, darling.
Hello, Alexus.
Hi.
This is Jasmine, and I can't wait to see you when you get to Atlanta.
No problem. Definitely.
This is Jasmine.
Mr. Free, right? Yeah.
Right. Right. I have to say this. Oh, my God. I'm on my way to work. I was walking to work, and I still had to listen to you because I was getting dressed listening. Oh, my God, girl, you have, I agree with the host when I tell you the kids need to hear what you say because whosoever believes it, baby, I have that same, oh, my God, you just don't know how much you have made my day a great day by just hearing you say that.
No problem.
And it touched me so much that I had tears coming out of my eyes. I was like, oh, my God, I haven't talked to you in so long, and I know it's been years since we talked. And it was great, and like I say, it's a great thing for Facebook to connect with people. And it was so great to see you and hear you. And when I heard you this morning, I was like, oh, my God, I remember. But just to hear you the way you gave that interview just a second ago, oh, my God, if anybody's not listening, they are missing a treat because you have blessed my ears. I know that much. You have blessed my ears. And I just want to tell you thank you and continue your great work that you are doing.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. That is such a blessing. All right, my darling. You got anything else?
No, and I just felt, Alexis, I cannot wait to see you when you get here for Universe. I know we got so much to catch up on, and we got so much to talk about, but I just cannot wait to see you when you get here.
Definitely. No problem, Jazzy. Enjoy your day.
Okay, you too, baby.
Okay.
All right, goodbye. Don't be late for work.
Yeah, don't be late.
No,
first thing. Oh, they always walking in here late. Bye.
All right. Character, darling, character.
Character. Right. Your character.
Wow! Do you know you are setting me on fire right now with that? I so love that. Just your character.
Right.
You know, and I'm gonna tell you why. I was sitting up here. I'm getting giddy as a schoolgirl all over again because one of my favorite periods of time happened to be the 40s. You know, when women were women and everything was real, just big and regal and just feminine, and women carried themselves in a way that let everyone know they were ladies. And yet at the same time, if they did their dirt, they still had class and sophistication with it, and yet they still looked beautiful and was able to, to wrap their hair up, honey, can still grab a hammer if they needed to. But it was all about how they carried themselves, and it was across the board. It wasn't anything pretense. It wasn't, okay, this is my daytime attitude or this is my nighttime attitude. It was just all across. It was just a certain level that of standards that they allow for themselves, and they did not defer from that. If I'm a lady, then you're going to treat me as a lady. If a gentleman caller comes over, they had a certain time of the day, honey, that you're going to call. Right. You're not going to pop up at my door any time of the day. Honey, I got to get my beauty sleep. I'm not feeling you today or whatever. It was just all about that level, and I just love that. It's about character, darling. I'm on fire for that girl.
Everybody has their own character that they want to shape. Some want to be Nicki Minaj, some want to be Trina, some want to be ladies, but it's all who you are as a person. Don't go ahead creating yourself if that's not you on the inside. You have to develop your own individual sense of being. That's who you are from a child. That don't never change. That don't go anywhere. You understand? So,
exactly.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being there's nothing wrong with being these types of characters, but I mean, how you channel them is what I'm getting at. How you challenge them, especially in dealing with the heterosexual world. How you challenge those characters that you have created or you are or that you've developed or how you feel inside, dealing with the heterosexual world. And that's just it. To gain that level of respect or that level of gratification, no one's going to call me out of my name. That's how I live it. And if you believe if you believe that, okay, she thinks she's better than me. No, it's not even that. It's just that I grew up from seeing my mother. People grew up from seeing other people, but like I said, my whole thing happens after my mother. And that's about it.
All right.
And then on top of that, coming into the Royale family, that's just the ditty. That's just regal. It just added fuel to that flame that I had, that I know that I wanted to be. So coming into that royal family, it was like, okay, bam, This is the connection request. Let's do it. So.
See, right, and it propelled you forward because it sounds to me that it was already there,
right.
So it just helped to formulate what was already there and helped to mold it to where you already had the foundation that just built on top of it, and nothing in pretense. It was just that this is who we are.
Right.
I love that.
Definitely.
I love that. Now, becoming the businesswoman that you are, to come from your place. Now, see, you come from a place where your family was already, very prestigious and understood what it means to be a businesswoman and this, that, and the other. Becoming the businesswoman that you are now, with owning the pageantries and carrying on. What was that like for you, and how is it that how do you fortify yourself as a pageantry owner and this, that, and the other and keep it afloat?
Well, in any business, you go into a business when there's a need. You don't just make up an idea because someone else is already doing it. But at that time, we had different pageantry systems running in the Bahamas, but they were just more on the level of what the Bahamas knows about pageantry. Okay, it wasn't on the level where it's at now. Now the level we're on now is like, okay, we're going to pay our entry fee, and we're going to come, and we're going to do Black America, we're going to do Black Universe, and we're going to do this one because we've been taught. So there was a need at that time to put the kids on the same level as the United States. So I went ahead and I said, you know what? Sometimes kids down there don't have the money and the resources to do all the things that they have here in America. So I had to start off at a loss, being real, because I couldn't put no entry fee, okay?
Right.
Because, number one, they need to get all that stuff together. So you do a pageant with no entry fee, but you give them the little cash prize, you give them the little crown, the trophy, the stuff like that, to make them feel good about themselves. So that's what I started to do. I embarked on the fact that there was a need. So I just took it day by day, month by month, and team up with some other pageant owners down there and say, hey, let's do this. Let's do this. So as far as new people was coming on the block, I said, okay, it's time for another system. Because the Caribbean International system is the biggest system that I have right now down there. Mm-hmm. And then I created a fresh face system, which allows people who just coming out on the scene to enter the pageant, into pageantry. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I just took everything that I learned from here and brought it to them and deposited it inside of their lives. Now they can come out here in the United States and procreate and do what they have to do and cultivate what they have to do, that which they have already learned. So I operated off of a need at that time. Yeah.
Okay. Now describe all of the different pageants and what each one individually represents.
Okay. Well, Miss Caribbean International was my first system, like I said, that I created. And the reason let's go back. We got to go back a little bit to Florida Gold. There was a pageant that I had in South Florida called Florida Gold. And in that pageantry system came across many queens. Donisha Iman, God bless her soul, Miss Jean from Atlanta, Georgia, Yasmin Bonet, stuff like that. So I took those girls and I watched their pageantry career and I said, you know what? Florida needs one. Let me go ahead and create one. At that time, Royal Productions had already had a pageantry system called Tropical Sunshine State. And that pageantry system, watching that system, I said, okay, the need down here in Florida is great for another system. They had Florida East Coast. That was back in Florida when pageants was pageants. Okay, now they have different pageants going on, which I commend the young people for being entrepreneurs and creating systems, which is good, So I took what I learned from back then, and I brought it back to the Bahamas. And I said, okay, this is the need here for the Bahamas. Caribbean International represents the highest level of pageantry in the Bahamas that you can go to. It will allow you the opportunity to compete in any USA pageant in the United States. And if you would go to a site called Carrie Carefield that I'm a part of, which has all the pageant blogs and stuff like that, I always wanted the system to be known internationally and both in the United States as a prelim to a big major pageant. So the girls can feel comfortable to say, okay, if I enter this pageant, I know I'm going to go to the next pageant in the United States and be recognized. So that's what I try to create Caribbean International for. Fresh face is for like newcomers, just coming on scene, persons who just want to get in it, know how to do it. Then there was different divisions of the system, the closet ball, the newcomer, the plus, because we have all those types of persons down there. So I began to have divisional pageants, okay, separating the categories and divisions. So the need became, so now my new pageantry system, which I'm getting ready to launch here in the United States, is going to be called MBI, Mr. and Ms. Black International. And what it does is allow other girls from around the Caribbean, wherever you're from, it don't matter, internationally, to compete in the United States. That's about it.
Now, in this pageant, see, now I have never been one who was very big on the pageantry system because we have heard so many horror stories, and I've worked backstage on some pageants, and some of the contestants, honey, have done some real shady shit. Okay, excuse me. But these girls, honey, I've seen some stuff, I've heard some things, all for the sake of a title, How do you, as a title holder, an owner, keep your integrity with the titles? And part two is, when you created your system, was it difficult for islanders or anyone who was not a part of the United States to compete and taken seriously in the pageantry system?
Well, what it was back then, when Bahamians used to do pageants in the state, the feedback, oh, they're a kiki, they're a joke. They just need to stay on the closet ball level. That was before the knowledge, okay? So that was the mindset of the United States girls towards the Bahamian girls. Now the knowledge is there. They welcome them. They embrace them. They say, come on, yeah, man, send them down to Black America. We love the Bahamian kids. We love the island girls. That's the feedback I'm getting now. But back then, when it wasn't, so people really didn't know what the Bahamas was about. They think we live in huts and little small villages, and no, honey. We are a touristic, let me plug this in. We are a touristic destination. Our main industry is tourism, and tourism allows us the ability to meet people from all walks of life. So the Bahamas is not some little enclosed place. Trust me, take a trip sometime. It's very, very inexpensive. Talk to me, I'll get you a package. But yeah, back then, that's what it was. The girls looked like we were kikis. We were kikis. That's the new word that's out now, the language that.
Yeah.
Kiki.
Right, kiki.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Okay. She said, "No, girls, honey, get it right. Okay, don't get it twisted up in here, honey. Our import." Okay, our business is tourism, honey, but no, honey, we are a thriving populace. Dig that.
Definitely.
Okay,
definitely.
Dig that. Education is absolutely beautiful. I got another call. We're going to go here. 404-273. 404-273. Thank you for your patience, honey. Hey, my darling, you're dishing tea with Big Meat to say hello to the First Lady of the Bahamas of the Caribbean.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, I'm talking to you, baby.
I'm so sorry. Hi. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm calling from Atlanta, and this is my first time calling in, and I just I got to give you guys credit for having such a show that opens people to a whole lot that myself included, which is a novice to what goes on in the show, ballroom, etc., and also to what you're doing as an individual. And Big Meech, I got to give you credit too, so I could listen to this. A friend of mine, Tino from the Bahamas, sent me the text in regards to your blog talk radio, and I never knew what I was getting myself into until I started listening to you guys. And I must say that you mentioned, yes, I must say that you mentioned something about character, and I was telling a friend of mine about this whole character thing, and that was so poignant for me because it's easier kept than recovered, and you are so classy in how you have imparted yourself and your knowledge and also your life. And you also, you speak the whole Caribbean truth. It can't take a day to envelop or encompass everything, but as a Jamaican and as you as a Bahamian, I truly must give you credit. And I really, really, really would like to meet you in person to see who this great person is.
No problem. Thank you. Well, there's a pageant I'll be down to. It's called Mr. and Miss Black Universe. Starting from October 29th to the 1st of November. And the reason I said the 1st of November because we're doing the Monday night show experience. So you'll meet me there, and there's a party that night after the first night of prelims. That's Friday, October 29th in the Holiday Inn Ballroom at 11 o'clock. There's a party, a Halloween party right there. You can come. It's called Night of the Living Fashion, Glitz and Glam, and I'll be there. The Caribbean people were putting it on to introduce ourselves to America.
get out. And by the way, you know, Big Meat, as I told you, I've never heard of your program before at all, ever. And I must give you credit, and I must also give you credit to the person who told me about it. And his name is Tino, and he's from the Bahamas.
Very good person,
so, you know,
Tino.
Yes.
That's who made the connection request. Good.
Okay, that's my baby.
But you know what's gonna happen when they dock my paycheck by listening to you guys? I'm coming for my pay from you guys.
The check is in the mail. The check is in the mail.
Okay.
I'll call my girl Claudia Ravaz, and I'll get her to get you your check.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, no, I want dead presidents. Checks will not do in this time of recession.
Okay. Listen at you. Okay.
That's cute. That's cute.
Experience. Okay.
That's cute. Yes. From learned behavior.
Thank you, my darling. I'm so glad that, and welcome to Dishing Tea. I hope that things here inspire you to come back for more. And for those who don't catch it live, honey, all the shows archived, so you can go back and tell all your friends, and they can catch it after it airs. So you can always go back and listen to it again and again and again.
Yeah, man, I'm going to tell my friends up there up north, and I send a text or two, and they will send it to their people, and their people to their people. So
definitely. Come on down. Man of the month.
Yes. And stuff. And you guys are, you know, hilarious but intelligent. You know, I like that. It's definitely a tea. You get a little sour, you get a little sweet, and you just drink. And if you don't want to drink, you put it away.
That's right.
How about it? Okay. Well, honey, listen, you go ahead and get your and finish your work, honey. I don't want you getting doctor. I told you that at the beginning. Okay. And thank you, baby.
Come on, you're welcome. Bye.
All right. Ciao.
So cute.
Okay, that's just too cute, honey. Too precious. All right. Okay, and shout out to Tino, baby. That was for you, honey. Thank you.
Yeah, one time for Tino. One time for Tino.
Definitely. 2 times, though.
Bam, bam, bam. In the Bahamas, we have a language that they say bam, bam, bam. So bam, bam, bam to all the Bahamians listening. Big up to all my kids, everyone that's listening and supporting the show tonight. Today, sorry.
Okay. Oh, I love that, honey. I love that. So now, introducing a new pageantry system and this whole pre-Halloween show and this, that, and the other. Explain that one more again, because I want to make sure that everybody hear what's coming up, where's it going to be, and all of that. Give us that one more time. Okay,
well, there's a group of us coming from the Bahamas getting ready to support the Mr. and Miss Black Universe pageantry system. And their pageant is slated for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay? It's their 20th year anniversary, so we're embarking and we're celebrating with them. You know, because we live, like I said, we live for pageantry in the Bahamas. So we're coming down to support them. So that's Friday night on the first night. After the prelim, we're going to have a little social gathering. It's $10 admission. It's a little Halloween costume party. No costume needed. Just bring your glitz, your glam, and your fashion. Okay? So it's called Night of the Living Fashion. And like I said, it starts at 11 o'clock right there in the Holiday Inn ballroom across from where the pageant's going to be held in the same hotel. And that's actually the host hotel for the pageant. So that's October 29th, straight on down to November 1st, because we are doing the Monday night show experience. And I got to big up Naisha Dupree. I got to big up all the CEOs of MBU for allowing us to do this. And that's it.
All right now. Oh, Naisha Dupree.
Right. The mother of Atlanta. Yeah, she's a regular. She's a favorite. She's a favorite here. She's a favorite in the Bahamas. And we have a big show coming down to the Bahamas, too, during the Christmas season. It's called the Bahamian Christmas Island Experience. There's a new club down there called The Forbidden Lounge, and they're getting ready to put on a big production with all the top-name girls from Atlanta, Georgia, from Miami, from different parts of the world, and Florida, and also the United States. So if you're interested, you can hit me up on my Facebook, and I'll get your book down there. So we're trying to do our connection. We're trying, like I said, connection request. We're trying to bridge the gap of pageantry and entertainment in the Bahamas to the United States, one pageantry system and one entertainer at a time. That's the goal. That's the vision.
Really? Now, see, y'all going to make a girl put some hair on, because I've not... I have not put on any hair and a frock in a little minute, honey, and Samantha Stevens' divinity, honey, has been on hiatus for just a little minute. Okay.
Come on, Samantha.
And see, honey, I'm feeling so rough right now. It's a bigger and better club work all over the land, honey. And you see, y'all gonna make me throw some hair on the girl to come out here and soccer to these kids because they really haven't seen me. But now, explain this because a lot of folks don't understand the pageantry and exactly what it means outside of winning the big crowns and carrying on. Because here in the States, when they see Miss America, all they know is it was a night of elegance and big old evening gowns and swimsuit competition and talent numbers. After she win that crown, honey, in the first 30 to 60 days, honey, she's everywhere. Then after that, there's nothing. There's really no pomp and circumstance to her winning until it's time for her to relinquish the crown. So, with your pageantry system, what do the title holders, what do they do? Where do they go? What do you expect of your title holders and things, and all of that? How do they work?
Right. Well, in the Bahamas, we don't have much show clubs or we don't have much shows going on, whereas, after my queen wins the title, she can be booked here, book here, book here. No, it's not like that in the Bahamas. So that's why I'm trying to bridge the networking in the United States so it can be a hand come, a hand go. Because, like I said, NASA is only a hop, skip, and jump away from America. So it's not like we have to pay thousands of dollars just to get on one flight to Miami, Florida, or Florida. Once you're in the U.S., you can just go ahead online and get your cheaper tickets and stuff like that. So my system allows the opportunity now that I'm creating is to build a relationship. When you win my title, you're going to promote yourself. Okay, you're from the Bahamas, but you're coming to work with the United States. My thing is not for you to stay there. Come to the next level. Let's jump over. Let's join forces with the United States in pageantry. So let's show them what you can do. And by the way, we had a Bahamian that won pageants in the United States. She won Miss Black America. Her name is Malaysia Nakwe, and she came up through the Caribbean International System. So she was one of those ones that break barriers, especially in the United States as a Bahamian. Also, there's the lady Anakwe, the overall mother of the House of Anakwe. She started off in my system. She came over here and competed in different pageants, and she's won crowns internationally in Canada, in different places. So I feel that my work has not gone in vain when I see these people. The thing about it is I need my people to get on a level that, hey, this is not something that I'm going to do just to be seen or to be heard. It has to be some passion. It has to be something that you want to do on the inside. And then you can make it, it's a hobby. It's a hobby. But when you do your hobby, you do it to the best of your ability. You understand? You don't just win the title and don't reign. Don't just win the title and say, I'm going to wait on my promoter to do this or wait on my promoter to do that. No, that's yourself. You promote yourself, Yes, the pageantry system have had glitches, and it's been in a hiatus state for about 2 or 3 years based on the fact because there was no governing authority to say that. I felt comfortable to say, you go ahead and handle Caribbean International. But now what I'm planning to do is bring some of the pageants here to the United States. So girls and Bahamians can have a fair chance in the United States system. You understand? So, I'm opening up doors. That's what my system is about, bridging the gap. That's what it's about, bridging the gap of pageantry and entertainment, one person and one pageantry system at a time. And that's about it.
I love that. I got another question because, again, it's a devil advocate question. But before I do that, I have Lanique over here in the tea room, and she told me, she said, tell her I said, what's tea, bitch?
That's one of our pageant girls. Definitely one of our pageant girls that speaks to persons in the United States. She networks. She sells herself, so people know who they are. It's not something that you wait on your promoter to do. If you are a true entertainer and a true pageant individual or a true ballroom scene person, you're going to put yourself on the market. You're going to let people know, this is who I am and this is what I want to do, But the thing about it is, let's go back to the shade. There's always this shade part. But let me tell you, my $150 entry fee to enter any pageant is just as good as the next American's $150. And that's what I'm trying to bring together, If you're going to open your system to us, we welcome you. I'm looking for systems for the Girls Center. Please let me know. We want to do this and make it a collaborative effort. You come to my country, I come to yours. Hand wash, hand come, like we say in the Bahamas.
Okay, I like that. I like to say, honey, you wash my hands, I'll scratch your feet or wash your feet. You know.
Definitely.
Now let me ask this, because being a trans woman, one of the things that always seems to hinder, I think, the trans community is the automatic assumption of trans equals entertainment. As a trans woman, I know that this is your business of entertainment, but how is it that when you educate others to understand what transitioning is, that not everyone is associated with the pageantry and entertainment, that this is also just, this is me being me and expressing myself the way I know to be and to become what is innately me?
Well, in response to that question, you have people, some like chicken, some like steak, some don't eat seafood at all. You understand?
I'm allergic, right.
But it all goes back to what you want to do to make yourself happy at the end of the day. What are you going to do? Okay, you're now this trans woman. You don't be on the scene like that. You're living this heterosexual life. You need to find things that make you happy and challenge your own inhibitions, your own desires. And like I said again, cultivate that which is on the inside of you, whatever it is. No matter if someone's going to say, girl, I didn't know good idea, girl. Child, I ain't going to do that because you this or you that, or you were trans. Child, I didn't accept you. Let me tell you, when I first came to America, they told me that, all transsexuals do is prostitute. And I said, no. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't do it and get paid and do what I had to do. Yes, like I said, being in the environment, you learn different stuff. But you come out of that thing, you come out of it. But if you do it well. You understand? Whatever you do on the inside of you. Don't let people judge you for what you feel on the inside of you. That can just say cultivate. And the passion of cultivation, that's what I'm trying to say. That which is on the inside of you, your goals, your vision. If you could sow like you could never sow before, so people would know that's her passion, that's what she does, as who she is, No matter what it is, and you sell CDs, and you're a trend, you sell your CDs, but we have that extra flair. Add a little bit of flair to what you do, That you will stand out and you'll be different. Whatever it is that you want to do, don't let nobody stop you from doing it, no matter how small or insignificant it seems. It may not be pageantry. It may be the ballroom scene. If you do it well. It's all about your character. That's it.
It's all about girl, you light me up with that one. That is just so resonating in my spirit right now. I'm about to backflip and kiss Jesus and come on back down here. Okay.
Definitely.
I love that. I just love that because I'm always reminded of the parable when Jesus taught and said, honey, folks had the gifts. He never said what the gifts were. He just said some had gifts. They had 10 talents, went out and came back and doubled them. Honey. The one that had 5 talents, went out, come back and doubled his talents. The one that had the talent and buried it for safekeeping and did nothing with it, it was stripped from him and given to the other two and divided them on the other two because they were able to do something with it. Now, we live in a society that criticizes and this, that, and the other when folks have to do what they have to do. But I love the fact when you say your character.
Your character.
Whatever it is that you do, if your character is that which is uprising, it's going to set the tone for everything. So whatever it is you do, be the best at it, honey, good, bad, or indifferent. I just love that. That just sets me on fire.
I think that's going back to what we're talking about, like entertainers in the Bahamas. Like we have another one. Her name is J-Lo, known as Alicia Dupree. And everybody knows her character to be the fashion whore of the Bahamas. And I'm going to call her that because that's what she is, the fashion whore of the Bahamas. She just will give you fashions back to back to back, and that's her character. She's developed that, and she's competed in pageants. She's won Miss South Beach, So it's like I can't express, get enough of expressing character because it's who you are as an individual. Don't go looking for other person's character. Be who you are and develop it. Just channel it in the correct direction. That's all it is. If you meet people in life and they don't understand your character, that's on them. They got to figure that out. But you know who you are as an individual, and that's what has made me who I am today. Not stop allowing people to be who they want you to be, but be who you are. And that's what allowed me the determination and the drive.
I heard that. Now, do you know what, believe it or not, we are down to the last 60 seconds of the show.
I'm getting so
already. And this always goes by so quickly when I'm having fun. And when we're learning something. Oh, excuse me, let me say hello to you over here in the tea room, honey, Miss Vera Tuna. She said, hey, Mama, bam, bam.
Hey.
You've reached come through. She said, Alexus, you make Miss Vera proud, honey.
Thank you. Right. No problem, dear.
So with that, my darling, I'm down to 37 seconds, so I'm gonna finish this out. So if it stops streaming, folks, don't worry. You can catch all this in the archives, and you can catch the tail little minutes of it. Because what I want to do is, again, I want you to put your Facebook page out there and all of your contact information for those who want to get in contact with you, and we'll go on from there. And let me say thank you for such an entertaining hour, and for your time. So let the folks know how to contact you.
Okay, well, my Facebook page, you can find me via Facebook. It is Alexus, Alexus, FIRST, LADYOF, THECARIBBEAND, apostrophe MARCO. Alexus, First Lady of the Caribbean DeMarco. You can find me there. Or you can find my business company, which is PSI Ltd. on Facebook, which stands for Pageantry Systems International. So if you want to reach me, you can reach me via there. Or you can contact me in my email. It's alexusdemarco@yahoo.com. So those are my contacts.
All right, darling.
Most definitely.
Alexus DeMarco, the First Lady of the Bahamas of the Caribbean, honey. I'm living for you already.
Yes, thank you
and I'm going to call you my sister, honey.
Definitely.
Because, darling, just to hear that, and to understand that the discrimination and the hatred is different from the Bahamas and the Jamaica and how everything is governed differently, I am just so living for you for that, because we haven't heard it firsthand. So for this educational system and for educating me and enlightening me, honey, I thank you for your time, for coming on. And I'm going to offer the show anytime you have a platform, anytime you have a new pageantry system, or, need the folks to come on in and compete or whatever, Dishing Tea is always available to you for all of that. So with that, my darling, I thank you. Let me get you on your way and on your day. I love you for it, honey, so thank you for your time.
Thank you for allowing me. Shout out to all my kids. I can't call all your names now. Thank you to all that listen from the Bahamas. Thank you to everybody in the United States that tuned in. And we'll chat via Facebook. Thank you and enjoy your day.
All right, my darling. You have a blessed one here.
Thank you so much.
All right, now. Good night. All right, then, the children, honey. That there is the First Lady of the Bahamas and the Caribbean, honey. Didn't you just set that off? Baby, I'm over here. I'm tingling because it's about character. Why that is just resonating in my soul right now. And I'm very, very grateful and I'm thankful for all of that, because that there was a complete lesson. So for those of you who have people whose characters are in question, please send them to the archives, honey, and have them listen to this. For those of you who need to understand more about transgender education, this is the first installment. I have many things to come for you as far as understanding the whole aspect of transgender living. So with that in mind, honey, I said I was going to play this song one more time because I think it just speaks to today, and it speaks to the theme of the song, just the need to be. So as this song plays, honey, I thank you all for your time and your love, honey. Please join me again real soon. I'll be back next week, God willing, and we have another exciting show. And just know, honey, you've been dishing tea, darling, with Big Meats, and here I just have the need to be.